You want to get rid of one of the players who can actually relate? You want to ban one of the players that men would actually pay to see? What the hell's wrong with these so-called fans of pretend basketball?
Caitlin Clark just exploded after the WNBA doubled down on its shocking ban of Sophie Cunningham, her top enforcer on the court.
Petition has started to ban Caitlin Clark's teammate from the WNBA. Well, congratulations, because nobody signed this petition. I saw this and I was like, it's time to check on the petition to ban Sophie Cunningham from the WNBA.
What was supposed to be a routine disciplinary ruling has now sparked an all-out crisis inside the league because Clark isn't backing down. In fact, insiders say she's more furious than ever, and if the WNBA doesn't get this under control fast, it may be about to lose the one player holding the entire league together, because beneath the headlines, a much deeper battle is unfolding. Sophie Cunningham's ejection should have been the end of it. A flagrant foul, a heated moment, the kind of incident leagues deal with quietly all the time. But the WNBA didn't back down. Instead, it doubled down. The league refused to reverse the ruling, sending a loud message across the league. Even the players standing with Caitlin Clark will be punished. And that's where this story turns dangerous, because Clark's frustration with the WNBA has been building for weeks, and now it's reaching a breaking point. Sources close to the situation say Clark sees the Sophie decision as the latest in a long line of failures. She's taken elbows to the head, she's been body checked off the ball, she's been eye gouged, and barely protected. And through it all, the WNBA's leadership has done next to nothing. The numbers tell the real story. 17% of this season's flagrant fouls against one player, Caitlin Clark, the league's biggest star, absorbing nearly 1/5 of the dirtiest plays in the game. And with the league refusing to step in, Clark has leaned on teammates like Cunningham.
Tomorrow, you're on the Las Vegas Strip. What can be a Las Vegas expect from Sophie?
Oh, you know what? I'm just going to be me. I don't go in there trying to predetermine anything. I'm dialed in. I need to focus on hitting my shots, making sure I'm executing the schemes right. I'm not focused on the extracurricular activities. And you know what? During that, it was just part of the game. I think the refs had a lot to do with that. It was a build-up for a couple of years now of them just not protecting, the star player of the WNBA. And so at the end of the day, I'm going to protect my teammates. That's what I do. And I'm a team player. So
players willing to fight back when things get ugly. But now, that safety net is gone. Sophie Cunningham's ban leaves Clark more exposed than ever, and more furious than fans have seen her this season. Because here's the reality the WNBA can't ignore. When Clark plays, arenas sell out. When she sits, ratings collapse. When she's featured, sponsors pay top dollar. And when she's targeted without protection, the entire league looks weak. Insiders say Clark knows exactly what's at stake, not just for her, but for the future of the league. And that's why this latest move has her ready to fight back harder than ever. The WNBA is now standing at a crossroads. Its leadership has spent the season ignoring the warning signs, refusing to protect its top star, refusing to clamp down on escalating physical play, and now refusing to reverse one of the most controversial bans in years. But Caitlin Clark is no longer willing to be silent, and her rising frustration is sending shockwaves through the league office. Behind closed doors, executives are already feeling the heat. They know that Clark's influence reaches far beyond the court. She drives attendance, she drives viewership, she brings in sponsors.
And I think everybody's thinking like, well, they're treating Caitlin different. And I think if you listen to the people that are in the W, now granted, obviously, it has been absurd to watch every single thing that they've done to Caitlin. I mean, last year, in between free throws, girl goes over and they're saying, this is not different than anything. But I think the chippiness of the league has always been there.
Yes.
And I think that's what people that have watched W are trying. I don't know if they're explaining that enough to the new fans, but like, hey, it's always been this style of basketball. I think not a lot of people know that, D-Bud.
Many of whom are already asking tough questions. And perhaps most dangerously of all, she could walk. Europe is watching. Billionaires are watching. Entire rival leagues could be built around her because the value she brings is undeniable. League veterans are warning that the Sophie ban may be the final straw. One wrong move, one more bad headline, and the WNBA could lose the very player holding the league together. Because make no mistake, this is bigger than one ejection. It's about the WNBA's future. Will the league continue down this path, alienating its brightest star? Or will it finally wake up before Caitlin Clark makes the one move they can't afford? What do you think? Is this the final warning for the WNBA? Will they risk losing Caitlin Clark? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more on this breaking story.
I just want to say that Marina Mabre is a bum, and I own her. She shoved me like that was going to change the score. She was out there putting up Angel Reese stats with her 6 points and 8 me-bounds. She needs to relax. They tried to gang up on me with 3 players because I cooked their whole squad, and I had to let their bench know after I hit that 3-pointer to shut their asses up.
Caitlin Clark just exploded after the WNBA's shocking move to kick out her top enforcer, Sophie Cunningham.
My name is Sophie Cunningham, and I won't allow anyone to harm Caitlin Clark. During that game, JC Sheldon deliberately poked Caitlin in the eye, and then Marina Mabrey pushed her down, yet the referees did nothing. I simply couldn't bear it. Seeing my teammate treated this way, I knew I had to step up and do something for her.
But this isn't just about one player getting booted from the league. No, this is a full-blown crisis. The WNBA is spiraling out of control. Fans are outraged.
Players are faster, they're better, they're bigger, they're stronger. They're as good as they've ever been. They're as athletic as they've ever been. The game is fast now. Things are happening quickly. Everybody's getting better, except the officials. So we got to find a way to remedy it. I mean, you've heard every coach talk about it, so I don't know what the answer is.
And Caitlin Clark's reaction? It could shake the entire future of women's basketball, because beneath this headline is a dangerous pattern, a league that cashes in on Clark's fame while refusing to protect her. And now, it seems, they're punishing those who dare to stand by her. It all started with a flagrant foul that should have never happened.
Trash talk had been happening everywhere. Technicals, flagrants, all this stuff had been happening. And as JC Sheldon was running down the court for a fast break layup, Sophie Cunningham grabs her and hard fouls her. I think this was Sophie. This was the last 46 seconds of the game. They were up by a lot. So I think it's a possibility that Sophie was trying to send a message to the league, to the officiating, to everybody that, listen, like, the Indiana Fever have had enough. And this is what's going to happen.
Late in a heated game, Sophie Cunningham delivered a hard hit defending her teammate, Caitlin Clark. The moment set off a storm. Cunningham was swiftly ejected, but this wasn't just another foul in an intense matchup. Fans instantly saw it for what it really was, a warning from the league. And Caitlin Clark, she was furious.
What did you make of Sophie Cunningham's flagrant foul on JC towards the end?
It was a flagrant foul.
You think it's like defending Caitlin or defending the team, or how do you view just how it all?
I view it as a flagrant foul.
I'll ask about the game too.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys came for basketball.
Yeah,
Let's talk about basketball.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Why? Because Cunningham wasn't just any teammate. She had built a reputation as one of the few players willing to step in and protect Clark from escalating attacks on the court.
As Caitlin's teammate, I couldn't sit idly by. I decided to take a stand. In my own way, I made JC Sheldon understand that anyone who hurts Caitlin would face consequences. This wasn't just a foul, it was a warning to everyone. Although I was ejected from the game, I earned the respect of the fans. People thought I did what others were afraid to do, standing up for Caitlin, even at the cost of myself. This makes me furious. The WNBA's rules and biases clearly enable this violent behavior, ignoring players' dignity and safety. The atmosphere of that game grew increasingly tense until I couldn't stand by anymore.
And those attacks had been piling up. Cheap shots, eye pokes, body checks, all while referees looked the other way. This season has exposed a dark reality in the WNBA. Clark is the biggest draw the league has ever seen.
It's amazing, just to see that how many people just love her in this city. She made her mark here, and it's just incredible to see all the fans and how much she's just put into working, and then the impact she's had on this city is just amazing to see.
Her arrival tripled viewership, sold out arenas across the country, and made her jersey the #1 seller in any sport. But instead of celebrating this breakthrough, the league's culture seemed determined to tear her down. When Clark sat out with injury, the WNBA's ratings crashed by 55%. Let that sink in. One player out, and more than half the entire audience vanished. It proved what fans already knew. Clark isn't just part of the league, she is the league right now. And yet, game after game, Clark was subjected to outright assaults on the court. Marina Mabrey's infamous body check.
I think in face. That's what Clark didn't like. But Mabrey came.
Angel Reese's flagrant to the head.
Clark! Hammer! Three.
And endless smaller hits.
His shot rejected by Izzy McMcGorry. For 29 points, gets tripped up.
None of it drew real punishment. The message from officials was clear. No one would protect Clark. That's where Sophie Cunningham came in. A player with a black belt in Taekwondo, Cunningham didn't hesitate to defend her teammate. She stood up to the league's bullying culture, and that made her a target.
When you are good at basketball, you're pretty, and you got grit, those three things make you bad to the bone. And I think this is one of it's new trends that's going on in the WNBA, in my personal opinion, is that not only will you be good at basketball, but you also, some of these women don't look like women, right? They used to look like dudes, but now they look like beautiful women that are playing basketball. And one thing I like about Sophie is that she's tough.
The decision to eject Cunningham sent a chilling message. Even Clark's defenders weren't safe. The WNBA wanted to silence the backlash, but instead, they triggered a firestorm. Clark's anger wasn't just about losing an ally. It was about the league's growing double standard. While male stars like Michael Jordan and Larry Bird were praised for trash talk and confidence, Clark was attacked for the same behavior. The league wanted her talent and marketability, but refused to offer her the basic protections every pro athlete deserves. Now, the rumors are flying. Would Caitlin Clark really leave the WNBA? Could a European team or billionaire investor lure her away? Fans online are already calling for it. Get away from this toxic league, one headline read, "Let it collapse without you." The tension is reaching a breaking point. If the league doesn't change course fast, it risks losing the one player holding everything together. Right now, the WNBA is standing at a dangerous crossroads. The decision to kick out Sophie Cunningham didn't just anger Caitlin Clark, it ignited the fan base.
When we first played her, I just think she's had a lot of pressure on her shoulders, and I think a lot of people, no one's walked in her footsteps, and so it's really easy to judge and to say things, but at the end of the day, we all need to empower each other and be there for each other. I think she's done a lot, not only her, but that rookie class. They've brought a lot of attention to our league, and it's needed. Like, this is what we've always wanted, and so why would we not embrace them and make sure they're good? And so when we first played them, I was like, hey, keep doing your thing. Like, you're doing a great job. If you ever need anything, reach out. And then the All-Star game, we were just having fun. I mean, she was playing, I was having a good time on the sideline, and I kind of told her, I was like, hey, if you ever want to come to Phoenix, let me know. But that one kind of backfired on me. Now I'm here, which is great.
Social media exploded with outrage. Commentators slammed the league's leadership. The hashtag Protect Caitlin Clark began trending again. And the biggest question hanging over all of this, how long will Clark stay? If she walks, if she takes one of those offers rumored from Europe or billionaire investors, the impact would be catastrophic. Ratings would plummet, sponsors would flee, and the message to future stars would be crystal clear. Success here comes with a target on your back. The WNBA was handed a once-in-a-generation star, a player who brought in millions, packed arenas, and transformed women's basketball into must-watch television. But instead of protecting that asset, the league has allowed a toxic culture to fester, one where the best player is treated like a problem instead of a gift. And that's why Caitlin Clark's fury matters. This isn't just about Sophie Cunningham. It's about whether the WNBA can survive its own self-destructive instincts. So here's the real question. Will the league finally wake up and defend its star before it's too late? Or will it drive Caitlin Clark and its future out the door? What do you think? Has the WNBA gone too far this time? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for the latest WNBA drama.
When is this clown show going to end, Angel? Thank you, Sid.
I actually shot a very good percentage today. 27% shooting is above my average, so put some respect on my name. I built enough houses to save the homeless in Chicago. I also grabbed 19 rebounds, and 9 of them were me-bounds. Let's be honest. My team is now 3-10, but I still deserve to make the all-star team because I'm going to cry racism if I don't get selected. My victimhood stats outshine my basketball stats. So please vote me in for the all-star game if you love bricks and me-bounds.
Angel Reese kicked out of the WNBA All-Star Game? Fans vote her the worst player in the league? Yes. This is the bombshell rocking women's basketball. The self-proclaimed face of the WNBA just got humiliated at the hands of her own fans.
Angel Reese thinks that she should get paid the same money as LeBron. She probably should get paid the same money as the person who cut LeBron's toenails, but she's not getting paid the same money as LeBron James.
So how did this all-star snub spiral into a league-wide embarrassment? Let's break it all down. For the last 2, maybe 3 years, the media pushed one story above all others. Angel Reese is a superstar.
I mean, I felt love as soon as I walked in. Being able to see all the women here and being able to be selected with them is really cool. And I just love being here, so I'm excited. I'm super excited to play against the Olympic players because hopefully one day I can be an Olympian, and just being able to get them prepared for that is obviously going to be good for them.
Forbes called her the engine of WNBA growth. Sports outlets treated her like the league's savior.
Headline at Forbes from April of this year: how Angel Reese and AJ Wilson lead the WNBA's growth. I'm sure you noticed the glaring omission in that headline. According to Forbes, Caitlin Clark is not responsible for elevating this turd into the mainstream. The ladies responsible for elevating the WNBA are Angel Reese and the unknown face of the Las Vegas Anonymous Faces.
Even the WNBA's own accounts flooded social media with her face, and Angel Reese herself embraced it all, famously declaring last year, "The reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too."
And if you don't believe Forbes, if you don't believe the mainstream media, which most normal people don't because they don't have any credibility, if you aren't willing to bite into the shit sandwich that the media is serving, just listen to Angel Reese. She will proudly tell you that she is the reason people are watching pretend basketball. Watch for yourself.
People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas. I know I'll go down in history. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
But then, the all-star votes dropped, and suddenly, the myth collapsed.
According to Barbie, she is the reason people are watching the WNBA. She is the reason that people are paying $16 to watch the Chicago Bravado play the Phoenix Masculines later today. What a matchup.
Reese didn't just miss the starting lineup. She didn't just fall out of the top 10. She wasn't even close. Shooting just 30.9% from the field, one of the worst marks among qualified players.
And Reese breaking up that pass. Kennedy Carter feeds Angel Reese. Can't finish.
And ranked 13th in all-star voting with just 173,000 fan votes.
With this being the All-Star game and Angel Reese being the face of the WNBA, you would think Angel Reese is leading the league in votes. Not only is the self-proclaimed Barbie not in the lead, Angel Reese isn't even close to making the top 10.
By comparison, Caitlin Clark dominated with over 515,000 votes, tripling Reese's total. A second straight year leading all-star fan voting.
Guess what's back?
What's that?
Back again. Caitlin Clark.
Yes, she is.
Tell a friend.
And online, fans wasted no time turning Reese's fall into a meme. Comments like, "Baby goat" over "baby giraffe," the queen of vibes, the duchess of deflections, the empress of empty stats. So what happened? The media spent months building up Reese's image. Commercials, interviews, endorsements, constant PR. But fans saw what was happening on the court, and they weren't buying it. Because while Reese's name was everywhere, her game wasn't. Statistically, she leads the league in rebounds, but many are what fans now call me-bounds. Missed shots, she rebounds herself.
Angel Reese, me-bounds!
Wait, did you say rebounds?
No, I said me-bounds! Bang! Another one! Bang!
Did the Lord's work. I went back and watched every single Angel Reese me-bound this year. 6 games to start the season. She's already got 17! Low-key, she was got it right. I purchased WNBA League Pass just to watch the me-bound merchant go to work! It was only $35 for the entire year. Free plug, WNBA, you're welcome. You gotta give credit where credit is due. Nobody, and I mean nobody, rebounds their own misses better than Angel Reese. How about it?
Her shooting percentage is abysmal for a post player. She rarely passes, racks up turnovers, and her team, the Chicago Sky, is sitting at just 3 wins and 8 losses. Meanwhile, Clark is lighting up the scoreboard, leading rookies, filling arenas, and making national headlines for actual game-changing plays. So fans voted, and the message was loud and clear: performance matters, not personality. Even lesser-known rookies like Kiki Iriafen, Sabrina Ionescu, and Aaliyah Boston outpaced Reese by huge margins in voting. And Reese's public image, well, it hasn't helped. She continues to declare herself the face of the WNBA, but fans are seeing a different reality.
Do you have any damn shame putting up triple singles out there like your life depends on it? Thank you, Sid.
Yeah, I'm a bum and I played like Ben Simmons out there, scared to shoot the ball, and I only grabbed 2 rebounds, which is unlike me. Since I only attempted 1 shot, I didn't have any opportunities to grab those rebounds. But having said that, I put up a beautiful triple single. I spend more time on TikTok trying to prove my haters wrong with cringe videos instead of working on my game, and for that reason, I deserve to be an all-star this season, even though my team is 3-9.
Clips of her missing point-blank shots, launching wild floaters off the backboard, and defensive lapses that look more like interpretive dance than strategy are flooding social media. And when she was asked at a recent press conference if she still believed she was the reason fans were watching, she simply said, "Next question."
Last year, you made a powerful statement saying the reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you two. A year later, do you feel like you're getting...
Next question.
Yeah, we'll move on. Thank you.
Meanwhile, Clark didn't need to talk. She led her game, and 515,000 votes speak for itself. The media hype couldn't save Reese from this one. The All-Star fan vote exposed a brutal truth. You can't manufacture a superstar, and fans don't want to be told who to love. They want to see it on the court. Performance still matters more than PR. And here's where the drama peaks. Reese wasn't just passed over for the All-Star team. She was exposed as the most overhyped player in the league. One creator summed it up perfectly. She's become the most visible 30% shooter in modern basketball history. Or in another fan's words, Queen of Vibes, Duchess of Deflections, Empress of Empty Stats. The gap between Reese's media image and her actual game is now impossible to ignore. The votes weren't even close. Caitlin Clark leading with more than 500,000 votes. Nafisa Collier, Aaliyah Boston, even lower-ranked rookies earning far more support. Meanwhile, Reese sits in 13th place, lucky to even be in the conversation. And here's the personal truth. The WNBA doesn't need more all-stars in name only. It doesn't need Instagram followers and sound bites. It needs players who show up every night, scoring, defending, leading. That's why Clark is rising. That's why others like Boston and Collier are thriving. Angel Reese, right now, she's all PR, no production. And if she wants to change this narrative, if she wants to be more than the face of league marketing campaigns, she'll need to start doing the hard part, winning games, raising her percentages, delivering when it matters. Because right now, the All-Star vote wasn't hate. It wasn't injustice. It was simply reality catching up with the hype. And if Reese can't